money, money, money. Money, money, money. We got that fly Nubian money. We talk about that money. We all about that money. Money, 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 money. We got that fly Nubian money. We talk about that money. We all about that money. We love our black skin, our melanin, always focusing in on that money. We always win, money never thin, 'cause we hustling, always focusing in money, 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 money. We got that money, 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 money. We that fly Nubian money, boss tough, lonely, we stack it up.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. And guess what, y'all? It is Friday, and I am excited. We have an amazing topic today. We are talking about Shell and the money that they've made. So while millions of people are struggling with inflation, raising grocery costs, and expensive gas prices, and higher bills across the board, oil companies like Shell continue reporting billions in profits tied to the global instability and war-driven energy demand. For many working people, the pressure feels constant. It costs more to drive, more to eat, more to travel, and more just to maintain everyday life. At the same time, corporations connected to energy production continue generating enormous profits during periods of crisis and uncertainty. The reality is making people ask harder questions about who really benefits during global conflict, while ordinary consumers seem to absorb the financial pressure the major companies continue thriving. Because when the cost of survival keeps rising while profits keep soaring, people eventually start questioning systems themselves. I have some amazing women today to have this conversation with. I think this is going to be a good conversation. So I have Miss Renee here today with Tricycle Sync. And then I have Miss Yolanda. She is the broker to the stars, and she can insure your pinky toe. I love that, insure your pinky toe. How are you ladies doing today?
Good.
Wonderful. Good. I'm glad to be here with you guys today and to have this conversation with you guys. So when you guys initially heard of that, what were your thoughts? I'm going to start with you, Miss Yolanda.
The capitalist in me was like, wow, okay. But the human in me was like, this is disgusting. Again, we are living in this realm. We are living in this reality, and we are living underneath these people's reality. And you know what I'm saying when I say these people, white men, okay? Yeah. All they care about is money. They don't give a damn about the human species. It's all about the dollar, baby. So those are my initial thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good old boys club. It's like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Exactly.
And the fact that people are okay with this, like it happens over and over and over again. Think about how people, all the money they made during COVID, and here we are again, and they continue to make money, and it's allowed. Like there's nothing that's done about it. It's like, again, the poor get poorer, the richer get richer. Renee, what were your thoughts when you seen this?
Well, thank you. Well, first of all, y'all, I'm sorry I'm looking like Fiona or Shrek in the movie. I don't know what's going on with the lighting on a Friday, but please have some little grace here. But I was thinking, just looking when you were reading or when I saw the picture where it says prices are $4.18 right now, that is not the case. We were at I think $8 is going on. So it's just, to me, what I'm looking at is just, it is shocking and appalling that, if you're making that kind of money, billions, why not trickle it a little bit down to help the population? But that also tells you that the greed of America is outlandish. And I'm hoping somebody or something to happen. But apparently that right now they're just lining their pockets. And it's like, how much can you do with so much money? What? That's it. What?
So right when you said greed, it's about greed, and it doesn't matter who they have to step on or who suffers. It's greed, and it's sad. So I think we have our first video. So look, we're gonna go to our video, Miss Producer.
Producer, where you going? Okay.
So while we wait for her to cue the video, let's get into some questions. Let's have some conversation. Do you guys think that inflation has changed the way people live day to day? I'm gonna start with you, Renee.
Absolutely. Inflation changes it and all the time. And you're looking at, the little pennies that they had at first, and now it's increasing. That makes a difference. And definitely when you have to go to the pump. I remember a joke by Kevin Hart where he said that, you're at the gas station at the pump and you're making life decisions. Should I pump this gas or should I get groceries? And so with this inflation, that's the question. I'm having it, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get some gas. I'm gonna get $15, so I can go get something else. So yeah, I'm really thinking about those things. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I used to go to the grocery store with my family of four, $250, and I could rack up. Now it's like $1,200-$1,300 a month, and you still don't get everything. And I'm like, this is crazy. And now we also have gas. And then when you think about the cost, like even when you get raises on the job. So I still work in corporate America. I know they talk about 3%, but a lot of people I know don't get 3%. And so it's like even your pay is not keeping up with inflation. It's almost like you're working, you're making the same amount, but you're actually making less with inflation. And so you really have to think about things you do. And then with the state of the economy, you're like, okay, should I take this trip or should I buy this stuff? Or, like you're really kind of thrifty with how you're moving because you just don't know what the next day looks like, what's going to happen. So I find even for me personally, like I'm conscious about that. Like you got to really think about, okay, at the grocery store, do I really need this, and really strategize in terms of your meals. So you're getting specific things so that so it's not going to waste because of the money that you're spending. Am I going to go to this place? Gas, you're thinking about all these things because it's like you go to the pump. I used to fill my tank up $50. Now it's over $100. Like it's crazy. So it's like it does make you think about your next, what you're going to do, the moves that you're going to make, because you just don't know what's going to happen next. Miss Yolanda, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts are the same thing. Inflation wouldn't be so bad if the pay was going up. Yeah. That's just the bottom line. Yeah. If the pay was going up, everybody would not be complaining about inflated prices at all. But see, this is the kicker. They want to control us. When they control your money, your food source, your water source, your housing source, they control you. And this is just a whole entire mechanism to control humankind. They want to see people. Actually, I remember I talked about fear being an energy that keeps people paralyzed. This is what they want. They like it. It feeds them. It makes them more money to see people in fear and without. They just love it. So, and unfortunately, we're feeding into the system. Why? Because we're participating in this shit every freaking day. Even me.
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. Let's talk about it. I know we always talk about we're participating in it, but how do you not participate in it? It's almost like you're stuck. So how do you get to the point where these things really don't affect you and you're not consumed by the mass hysteria? Renee, I'm gonna let you answer that.
How can you not participate? The only thing that comes to my mind is that you get the essentials, the basics, things that you cannot live without, and that is that medication, whatever that is, your groceries, and not eating out so much. Really just we all can cook, and if you can't cook, you need to go home, get those groceries and cook. And find a way to, reduce what you're doing. Also, not feeding into everything. You know, maybe I want a Snicker bar. That's $2 or whatever, but then I need something else. Not feeding into the people that you know that are going to continue raising it, but you just get what you need and right now and live by that. We always get what we want, but you need to just get what you need at this time and roll with that. And it's going to blow over soon. Okay, I'm not going like I'm a fortune teller. It's
Yes,
going
you are,
to,
girl.
but,
Yes, you are.
but well, what I'm saying is if we all stop spending, you know, on that want, then it'll start contracting and it'll hit their pockets too in some way.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, and then I'm gonna answer. I think, and I say this all the time. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this multiple times. We have to take control. We have to take control back, right? We have to build that community. We have to start those gardens. We have to get the farm. We have to go off grid. I say it over and over again, but these are things that are going to have to happen in order for us to not be impacted. Because yeah, I can go and not buy the nice things, but I still need the groceries, and that still impacts me. You know, I'm still participating in it because I'm going to this grocery store. I'm still stimulating their economy. Like, we have to do things different, and part of it is taking our control back, growing our own food, having our own village, educating our own children, taking care of our elderly. Those are the things that we have to get to in order for us to get that control and not allow them to take the control and not participate in it. The fact of the matter is we are kind of controlled and stuck. And so it's kind of hard to separate yourself from it. Even when it comes to them creating this fear, they use media to create this mass hysteria, right? We're watching the news. And as we know, they control, the powers that be control what is fed to us. So now we're all scared and we're moving certain ways. Some of the stuff may be true, but how do we know all the stuff is true? You know, they make it seem like in our community, all we do is kill, steal, and lie, you know, like, and it's like, that's not the truth, because I have tons of friends and family, and it's not like that. But of course, that's what the media wants you to think. They want you to think that Black men are not fathers and not providers and not husbands. They are some good husbands. Men are providers. I don't know one deadbeat man in my circle. So we have to take our power back by, again, going off grid. Yeah, we don't have to buy the things because we don't need the things when you're off grid. We have to grow our own food, and we have to educate our own children. We have to do all those things. Yolanda, what are your thoughts?
Girl, you already know I'm on the same way path as you. Be sovereign. That's the thing. We're not sovereign people. And I'm not talking about just Black people. I'm talking about humankind, not sovereign. We have to really, really do for ourselves, which comes to setting up communities, setting up farms, and feeding ourselves. I feel like it's unnatural to go into a grocery store. All right. It doesn't feel natural to me. All right. But I do feel good going to a farm and picking corn off the cob, off the land. That feels very natural to me. And we need to get back to those basics. Humankind together need to stand up. Imagine one day we do not buy gas. We do not participate in a system that's like not going to work, not buying gas, not buying any type of food, especially fast food, nothing. Imagine every human on earth just sitting down for one day. It will scare the shigums out of them people, whoever is up there controlling all this mess. Yep. It will scare the shigums out of the people. Yeah. Seriously. And it will force change. That's the thing. We're so inculcated in the system. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be disrupted, not even for a millisecond, okay, to enforce change. We don't want that. We're so freaking greedy. Yeah. We're so greedy. Yeah. And we want what we want. But collectively, if we need to change the system, we need to stop participating in it. I just say one day. Give us one day not to participate. Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. Booker 1138 in the comments says, you are never stuck. Only believe it. I have always been a proponent of getting my money up. And the thing is, like, we don't have freedom, right? They can let us off. They can lay us off for these jobs. They can dismiss us, and we have nothing. And the thing is, I know people talk about money, but money, you want freedom, right? And money should allow you to have freedom to be able to do different things and move around. Like, think about, like, everything is instant, right? You can go get a loaf of bread. We don't make bread anymore. Like, the basic things that we did back in the day, we're so consumed and we're working twice as hard, twice as long. And then the family dynamics is messed up. It's just a lot of things that we have to unlearn and relearn, and we have to change the programming, right? So that we're doing things different, so the powers that be cannot control us. I think she is, Miss Producer is ready with the video. Miss Producer.
So let me get this straight. Regular people are struggling to afford gas, groceries, and bills. Meanwhile, Shell just reportedly made $7 billion during the Middle Eastern conflict. And before y'all start arguing in the comments, I'm not saying this war was fake or anything like that. All I'm saying is every time there's a global conflict, the regular everyday people seems to suffer, while these corporate industries seem to get richer and richer. And that's the part people are starting to notice. Imagine waking up and you can barely afford to drive to work, while behind the scenes, these energy companies are stacking up dividends and billions. All I'm saying is, at what point do us as a people start to ask, who actually benefits from all this chaos?
We definitely don't benefit, as we see, right? I was looking at some stats. The Bureau of Labor said in April 2026, inflation rose 3.8%. It's raising 3.8% year after year. Energy rose 17.9%. Gasoline rose 28.4%. And food rose 3.2%. Groceries in April alone, 0.7%. Who's benefiting from this? It's not us. It's not the middle class, because when you think about the middle class is really poor. Like, we're poor. We don't have it. What was your thoughts, Renee, when you heard that video?
My thoughts were that, again, it goes with the greed, but also I was thinking that when you were talking about community and how we should just one day, both of you, and I can't, one day, we did it with Target. Now, why can't we do it with this gas? And my question is, who do you call and contact and say, hey, let's being somewhere on Instagram and say, let's get together and let's do this for gas, because we can hit their pockets. And you're right, just one day, just sit at your house one day, all of us, and not turn on that car or go to that gas pump, and we will see a significant difference. They will definitely be paying attention to us, right? They're probably like, oh, they're going to do it. They got to get to work. They got to, but we can call off sick. We can do whatever we need to do. So back to that $7 billion, while everything is going up for us, we're being controlled like puppets. We're puppets. And that's not a good feeling. It's definitely not a freedom feeling. It feels restricting and it's heartbreaking. I feel kind of like they're crushing on us, and we got to do something. So I think we need to not drive and ride our bikes.
And I like that, because it will help us get our weight under control. We're more active. But right. The fact of the matter is, we are so controlled by the powers that be that even mentally, people don't call off when they're sick. You think they're going to call off the boycott? Because they need their money. And it doesn't even look like nothing, right? So when you get your paycheck, it's gone because of inflation. You're not making a significant amount of money because of inflation. They don't have the money. Like, I know back in the day, we used to get bonuses here and there. They don't do that stuff anymore. But the CEO's still making tons of money. Still giving them bonuses. They're still getting raises. I mean, they make so much money that if you take some of the money from them, then maybe you could give the other people money. Yolanda, what were your thoughts?
That's what I'm saying. I always say this. If you shave off $2 million off of a CEO's $10 million salary, do you know how much of an impact it will make in the lower people's salary? Okay. It will make such a big impact in their salaries and in their lives. That's a lot of freaking money. All
Yeah.
right. It and also what they're not understanding, it will create a better working environment. These people would love to go to work if they were paid a living wage. All right. It reflects how you feel about your employees. They will feel prideful to go into work. So, yeah. I, yeah.
So you think I'm thinking about why are they doing that? Are they trying to get us back? It seems like to slavery again. So it's like the ultra rich, and here we are at the bottom, crushed. And so is that their strategy that they're
Yes.
trying to get us to the slavery back?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
All
going
y'all
on?
ninja slaves. All y'all ninja slaves. That's just what they wanted to do. Remember, when they ended slavery, they were so butt hurt that they were going to lose out on that free labor. So the next thing they brought in was cheap labor from Europe. It started these factories and stuff like that, and people started working there. When they couldn't do that anymore, and people started rebelling against that, then they it just keeps going and going. Then they created everybody is a slave across the board.
Yeah.
Everybody. They want low wages and they want people to work for those low wages. And to keep you stupid, they make sure that they just create certain circumstances, which is what we're seeing right now with the rise in food, the rise in housing costs. Because when you think, when you're so busy worrying about how to pay your bills, how to eat, how to this, you're not thinking about how to dismantle the system. You're not thinking about that. All you're thinking about is how you're going to feed your kids.
Survival mode.
Survival. And that's just what they want. They do not want us prosperous. These white people, not white people, because it's really not about them. It's just about money. It's really about, because it's about the money.
Yeah. Green. The color is green.
Right. These green people, okay, the people who worship the green, want to see humankind just in a perpetual state of slavery.
Yeah.
Everybody is a slave. That's how they get you.
Yeah. I seen this reel on YouTube where they talked about they were talking about wealth, right? And then one of the young men, he said the biggest flex is my name. And I think as African Americans, we think about money as individuals. But
Correct.
wealth is families, right?
Yes.
Building families, the basics, getting married, coming together, raising your children. Wealth is something that is built over time.
Correct.
But we don't think about it like that. Wealth is built when we come together. What is that old Hebrew proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. But we have to get to that point where we're willing to come together, because we can do so much more together. And family
are gone.
I don't think so, though. I don't think that we're too far gone. That's what they want us to think. They want us to think that we're too far gone. And so we just operate in silos as opposed to coming together and doing things together, right? Even if it's not just friends, right? Or random people, your family, right? Your immediate family, your cousins and aunts, and like really coming together and making some power moves. That can happen in real life, but our mindset and the way the programming and the way they want us to believe, it won't happen, because people are like, nah, I'm just gonna stay up here by myself. I'm just gonna do it by myself. Then what happens to your money when you're gone if you're doing it by yourself?
It has to be like a collective Black love. First of all, we have to really, first of all, love ourselves deeply, because when we love ourselves, we take care of each other. All right. A lot of us don't love ourselves. That's why we have this mentality of doing it alone. All right. Doing a solo dolo. And then on top of that, you have the family structure is so damaged. They did a good job in damaging our family structure in this world, because we can't even get together to do things together. And if we do, you always got cousin Ray Ray or somebody over there mucking stuff up, all right, stealing the money, or doing something that just abolishes everything. We just need a deeper self-love. But the reason why you're right, maybe we're not so far gone, Dominique, maybe not. But it may come out of the younger generation. I foresee the younger generation getting together, because they see a lot of things going on right now. and they want to change the system. Them babies are going to change the system. So maybe they will get together and dismantle whatever it is that's going on. Because
Yeah.
they can't eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't like it.
Mm-mm.
And
When
they
they
feel entitled.
Well, that's what I was thinking. We keep coming. Well, I keep coming back to, and I saw someone and it was going through the scrolling through about it's not just being an employee, that we also have to own our own businesses and do what we do. Okay, so here we go. We come together. We have a community. We do our gardening. We everything. We are self-containing, and we're not employees anymore. So then, what happens? I just like to know what happens, because every time we have black. I don't want to keep, but Black Wall Street. We have Black Wall Street, and we've had a number of other contained, self-contained, brilliant African Americans who did what we are talking about again and again in the cycle. Help me out. What do we do?
Right. You know what, Renee? This is why I say that Black people have to either create their own government, separate or die. All right. Either we have to separate from these people or die, create our own government. Or if we choose to continue to participate in their system, we have to set our people up in the system that's going to always have our back. All right. They have to be true blue to us. All right. Make laws that will protect us from getting harmed. Because anytime we set up a township, our own thing, yes, it always got bombed, it always got destroyed. All right. So we need to really make laws that protect us. Not because sometimes when we make laws, then white women come underneath our because they feel like, oh, I'm a minority too. It's not about minority. It's about being Black people in this country. Protect us. We need to make laws to protect us specifically. Bottom line.
Yeah. And we can't be afraid based on what happened in the past. And
Correct.
we no longer can allow people to do those type of things to us and just sit back. I think it was Minister Farrakhan said, as long as you sit and you eating a sandwich with them and you keep letting it happen, they go home, they kill us and they go home and they eat their burger.
They do.
Continue to happen. But if we really stand up, they want us to be in a space of fear so that we don't make these moves, because we feel like we can't make these moves, because if we do make the move, we create another Black Wall Street. We go off grid and they can't collect money from us because we're strategic with it. We're living off of the land, right? They want us to feel like, well, you do it and we're going to take it from you. You do it, you're going to bomb it. We're going to bomb it. When are we going to start creating our own armies? And
that's the point. Exactly. It sounds so far-fetched, and I know it does, but our ancestors did it. Our foremothers and forefathers did it. And even though it got destroyed, all right, we can do it. Who's to say we can't do it again? Nobody's telling us. We can do it again.
Yep.
And now we even got the knowledge because we know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
This is why I said we need, since they all about the laws and abiding by laws and stuff like that, we need to set up laws to protect Black people in this country. Bottom line.
Yeah.
That's what we
need. Set up laws, right? Because if it's not on paper, it didn't work. It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Exactly. We need to play their game. Since they like laws and they like putting stuff on paper, it. We'll do it too. Leave us alone.
Booker 1138 in the comments says, absolutely. Fearful people are very easily controlled. That's why we were able to be enslaved. They used religion to enslave us. And we were too afraid to make moves until people started saying, I'm willing to take the risk. I'm no longer going to stay in this space. We cannot be afraid. And then again, the media causes us to be afraid. We're thinking about all this stuff in terms of war. And so then people don't want to invest their money because they're afraid of what's going to happen. They don't want to make these moves because they're afraid of what's going to happen based on the media that is controlled by the power that be. That exactly. Pull all your money out. No, leave your money there. Don't pull nothing out. But they want us to be controlled. They don't want us to make these moves that we want to make, because then we are powerful as a people. Because if we did it before, you think we can't do it again? We absolutely can. We can do it again.
We have the tools.
We have
the tools.
Smart Black women are the most educated. Like, think about this. We have the businesses. We employ our own. We take care of our own. What happens? We grow, we flourish. It can happen, absolutely. So
Yes.
I think we do have another video because we can go,
Girl.
we can go left field. I think
Mhm.
we have another video.
Shell
Yeah.
reported record-breaking profits since January of this year. A lot of people are talking about and feeling the effects of the Iran war on gas prices. We're seeing it when you fill up the tank, when you buy groceries, all the things that affect the economy, we're feeling. But what we're not talking about is the fact that this is not just caused by rising prices, this is caused by corporate greed. This isn't them raising prices just because of global supply constraints. This is them seizing an opportunity to pinch the consumers across the world. So don't just think it's because of the war. Point fingers at the people who are exploiting the working class.
I agree with that. I remember during COVID, and I don't know if you guys recall, where you would go to when we were able to go out, or you would go different places, and they would put like a fee, or I don't know if it was necessarily a tax, a COVID tax, or a COVID fee on your bill on top of everything else. I don't know if anybody in the comments, you guys remember that?
I've never seen that.
Wow.
And I know I'm in the Chicagoland area. They would put an additional, you know how like you have gratuity? It was like an additional COVID fee that they would place on things. It's stupid. But they would do that. And it's like the minute that something happens, it seems that they take advantage. Like, okay, this is our opportunity. It's like they're price gouging and doing all these things that cost this amount. Now they're super high. Why? What are your, Renee, what was your thoughts about the video?
Corporate greed, keeping the class down. All of that I understand. Here's my question with all of this, and I understand when you say when you have fear base and that, because it's kind of implanted in you and all of that stuff. Dollar store, Dollar Tree, that they have raised their candy bars and all that. But here's why, and they say it's connected to the oil. I mean, having the gas to ship everything, and so everything is trickling down, and we all are dealing with this in such a harsh way. So we can keep talking about how and why and what we can do. My question again is, what will it take for us as a collective to put what all of the
You went out.
You went out. We can't hear
You went
you.
out, Renee.
I'm sorry. My question is, putting all the talk, we do this, we do that, we do. How can we literally, if we leave this platform today, what can we say that we can do to put in action that we can change something today about what's going on? Is that an unfair question, or is that too big of a question?
No, it's not fair.
Maybe someone in the comments can help us.
Gas. The thing is, we have to keep having these conversations. They have to happen because people don't, it's like exposure, right? To me, when I think about education, I feel like education is better. Exposure is better than education because you can be what you haven't seen, right?
Right.
We have to continue to have these conversations so that we realize that people like us are aligned. People like us want to do different. Like we want different. We want to do different, but we have to have these conversations, period.
Conversations and actions.
And
actions.
I like that Renee asked that question, because now what do we do? That's the question. Now what do we do? And you're absolutely correct, Dominique. We need to have these conversations, which is why we are living in the best of times right now with social media. Yeah. We all need to keep talking about how uncomfortable we are. And we also need to say, if this doesn't happen, XYZ will happen. And that's us pulling away from the system. Eventually it will happen. Okay. And just as easy as we can do that is as easy as these corporations can stop what they're doing, because they're manipulating the numbers and they're manipulating us. They can, we don't have to have a 6% mortgage rate. Okay. They can easily take it down to 3%. Yeah. We don't have to have inflated food. They can easily just keep things the way they are, but they choose not to, because again, we're in war. They want us in fear, and fear paralyzes a normal person to move forward. Yep. We have to be fearless.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to the comments real quick. So I know I'm not the only one. TKOB said they definitely had COVID fees in Las Vegas. Like there were
Oh,
fees. Yes, there were fees to like, I don't remember if they were at grocery stores, but it was like these crazy fees, like fees for COVID. Why? Right. It's like an opportunity. It's almost like when things happen, it's like this is our opportunity to get some more money, you know?
yeah.
And then Anonymous said Elon Musk paid Trump $250 million to shrink the government, and he's made all that money back already. Latoya Young 919 said, yes, our community should be solution-based.
We are the creators.
Are the creators.
We are the creators, so we can create and come up with a solution for sure.
And we can't be like people were enslaved because they were afraid to run. Think about if they came together. You talking about a few slave owners and there's hundreds of y'all. Imagine them coming together and say, oh no, you not another day will you hang, beat me or keep me enslaved. Imagine that. But that didn't happen because we were afraid. But think about what's on the other side of fear. We can sit and talk about this all day, every day. And we should to bring exposure. But again, when are we going to start moving? And one of my protests is my garden and talking to other people about it and having other people have gardens. Like there's like 3 or 4 people in my group that have gardens. So think about it like this. If a few of us in your circle, like a few people in your circle, say 6 people grow one thing, that's 6 things you don't have to go to the grocery store for. And then we have to put it in the midst. So just thinking about those type of things, small protests that make big impact.
You're so correct. We can barter. That we need to bring back the barter system, because if you're growing corn, girl, I'm growing tomatoes. I'm gonna give you some of these tomatoes for some of that corn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think we have another video, and then we'll go to stats after that. Miss Producer. That's crazy.
But not only Shell is making billions, Trump has made billions. You know, they had to line that pocket.
Okay. Exactly.
That's crazy. So do you guys think that inflation is exposing a deeper problem in the economy? Because the thing about it is inflation is not just affecting us or impacting us as African American, it's impacting everybody. Do you think that is exposing a deeper problem? Miss Yolanda?
Yes. It's exposing that we all slaves up in this bitch. That's what it's exposing. White, black, Asian slaves, Latino slaves, all y'all. Okay. That's what it's showing. They're showing, and this is another thing. It's showing a problem and a solution. Okay. Because I do focus on black first, because you know we're black, but on a human level, it's showing that we all should get together because we're all experiencing the same thing underneath a few hundred people that is controlling this bitch. All right. So we all get together on a human level. Do you know how much of an impact that will take and make?
Yeah.
This is why they killed Martin Luther King, because he was trying to get white people and black people together to stop the poverty that was happening in the United States. That's why they killed him, because he was going to unify both black and white people regarding poverty, not racism, poverty. Just imagine if we all get together and we still carry out that dream. Just imagine.
Yeah. Because I believe it can, I really believe in my heart. I have hope. I believe that it can happen. And the thing is, we just need a few.
Correct.
So the people that made the changes, it wasn't numerous amounts of people. It was just one or two people that said, I'm not going that way. I'm going to go a different way.
Correct.
It can 100% happen. Anonymous in the comments says New Orleans had the biggest slave rebellions. That's why the Civil War happened.
Correct. Thank you, Anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they have us thinking that the Civil War happened because Abraham Lincoln and this, that, and the third. No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. These Black people were just killing off white people. They never show they never show the slave rebellions that really happened. They don't show that because they don't want to feed us that energy that we are powerful beyond our beliefs.
Yeah, because that's
energy.
That's empowering, right?
It is.
Just imagine you look like I can make a move. I can do something. I don't have to stay here. I don't have to deal with that.
Who do they always highlight? Nat Turner, right? Because he was like solo dolo. Okay, yeah. He was solo dolo. So they always highlight him, but they never highlight the hundreds of Black people that got together and overturned shit. They don't ever want us to find out about them.
Yep.
Because if we teach our children that, do you know how powerful we will be? They keep us in a perpetual state of ignorance because they do not want us to know what we are capable of doing.
Yeah. 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 And it's a few of us that are saying like, no, I can do more. Like, you're not going to tear me down. You're not going to make me feel you may knock me down, but I'm getting back up.
Correct.
They seem horrible, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to be okay. Right. Mm-hmm. My priorities are different than somebody else's because I got bigger things that I'm trying to do. I'm thinking about freedom. Imagine being able to just walk away and say, hey, I'm not going to the gas station, but we don't have the freedom to do it. Why? Because we rely on that check.
Because we rely on it.
We can't live without the check. But the fact of the matter is we have to learn how to live without the check because they can take the check away. At any given moment, they can come in and say, hey, your services are no longer needed. And they don't have to make any provisions for you.
Yeah, now, my joke has always been with my son. I say, employee number 1, 2, 3, 4, you come in and then they fire you. Now employee number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all you have to do in a computer, and that's it.
That's it.
Your number. Your number.
That's
exactly.
All.
Exactly.
So I think we have some stats real quick. So we'll go over some stats. Shell has reported billions in profits during periods of global conflict and energy instability. Raising gas prices affect transportation, grocery, shipping costs, and overall inflation. Many Americans report living paycheck to paycheck despite full-time employment. Inflation continues impacting housing, food, insurance, utilities, and transportation costs. Oil and energy companies have remained among the most profitable industries during recent economic instability.
So I had read not too long ago. Okay, so in Africa has a refinery, oil refinery, and they will send all their oil into the UK. And what the UK was doing was saying, we're not going to accept your oil because it's not clean enough. And so what they would do was refine their oil and send it back to them and give them a bill. But now that the oil situation has happened in Iran, they're now like, can we please have your oil? So, but the point is, it was never dirty. See what I'm saying? Why I'm bringing that up is always they're finding there's a game that they continue to play with us and make us feel inferior at all costs, so they can continue to get labor off of us or get their money off of us. We are like the cattle that they're using to continue to perpetuate to make them rich. Period.
Yeah, that is 100% true. So true. The real Black lexicon. Your good hearts have you misconstruing some of the theses you are exploring. Elaborate, please.
Shut up.
Elaborate, please. So with all this happening, do you guys feel like there should be regulations in place for these oil companies? And what are some of your thoughts about what the regulations should look like?
Dang. Like, how can regulations be in place when the oil companies control the politicians? Think about it. They control the politicians. So the politicians are not going to listen to us. They're going to listen to whoever lines their pockets. This is why we need a whole entire overhaul of the whole freaking political system. It needs to change.
That's true.
That's it. Seriously. They don't listen to us.
That's true. Renee, do you think that everything that's happening with these with shale and these companies, do you think that is causing more stress, which we know they are? It is more stress on families, relationships, and dynamics in general?
Well, I'm just going to speak for my family. We've gotten closer. I think what it has happened with these times, we're really understanding that we need each other, and that, all of those arguments or whatever happened in the past, that's kind of like, let's come together as a unit. And I'm seeing other people, they're holding on tight to each other, because that's all we got, is our family and our friends who are out for us. And so I feel that it's bringing us closer as a niche. And at the same time, we just all in a hole. Everybody's jumping in a hole together. And hopefully somebody will jump with a rope so we can get up out of this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy you said that, Renee, because I've been seeing online a lot of people are now white, black, and everything else. They're now moving back in together. So now you see grandmas and grandpas in the home with their children and having multi-dimensional homes. And it's not just about saving money, but they do realize the importance of having that family contact and having those generations living with each other. It's very important. Family, things are changing, and things will change. People don't give a pluck about that money no more. They know what's real, because at the end of the day, when they take away our resources, because they're going to try, family will be first. Yeah, family will be there.
Absolutely.
And family doesn't have to be blood.
Correct.
My friends are my family.
And my friends are my family too.
My family, like, yes, they're friends. They're not blood, but they couldn't be any closer. Like, my friends are my family. And I was thinking, and with me being in real estate, and like I've talked to my daughter, I'm like, you guys get out of college, you guys buy together, buy a building together. Mm-hmm. You live on one floor, somebody else live on another. If you get 4 units, you guys come together.
I agree with that.
And put a contract in place. Like, make sure that, legally you guys have things in place where you guys are building wealth together, because it's hard to do it alone. Because even when you think about real estate and going to purchase, right? The garbage is expensive.
Correct.
Garbage is expensive. You walk to these properties where back in the day, you can get something nice for $250,000. Now they almost need a whole gut rehab. Right. So imagine these kids, they're used to their own independence, right? They don't necessarily, quote unquote, want to come home. What about y'all coming together and purchasing together? You guys come up with a term of how long you're going to be in it. If somebody wants to get out, what does that look like to get out of it? But changing our mindset as opposed to us being solo. So now I can't afford to buy something because it's easier for me to rent, because, these big companies, they bought up everything, right? They fixed it up. So I don't have to go in and fix it, because in their mind, they don't want to fix it. How about you guys come together and you guys start purchasing together as opposed to individuals, and start building wealth right there, as opposed to renting, paying somebody else's mortgage. So just changing our mindsets and having these conversations around what this looks like. So
because of me, I was, I used to have my townhouse, and then I had another house and all that stuff. But right now I'm in a 7-bedroom house with my family in a room. And I'm proud to say that, because, I have so much, I was so much, and all these bills and things, we had to consolidate. We have to come together, and I wasn't used to this, and that's what I think at one point when we were making all that money, we were separating and not coming together as a unit. This times now is teaching us that our unit, our family, and our friends, that's really the money. That's really the wealth.
Thank you. Thank you. Kanye West said it best. He said, they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. And it's true.
Yeah. A real black lexicon in the comments said the moral of the story is we need to buy and operate gas stations like it used to be, and that's the truth. Like I went to Jamaica a few months ago, and Asians are buying up grocery stores. Why is it that we don't have these things ourselves? And that's another issue, coming together. If we're not, we can farm and have some of our stuff that we farm in the grocery stores, but having our own grocery stores in our own neighborhood where we have quality food, like we got to look beyond what it is now. And we have to think about it. Like even we buy all the hair care products, but everybody owns them but us.
Yeah.
And you want to know why I feel it's like that? It's because we don't want to come together. We don't.
Also, there's a structure though. I've talked to some people who have immigration, and just a little bit about that. They approve the immigrants that are coming in, and that when they say, okay, I want to do a nail shop, they promote the nail shop, and guess what? The government is getting a percentage off of the money that they're getting for that nail shop. So all of these hair shops and all of these nail shops that the immigrants are using, or I'm sorry, that have purchased and that they are doing, the government is lining their pocket with that profit. And I was definitely told that that's what's happening as well. So they get 50, whatever percentage. I'm not going to say a percentage because you can Google it, or everybody Google it, but definitely behind the scenes, they're getting something off of it. And I don't think that maybe we would say, no, you're not getting anything off of this, our stuff. So
thank you for that, because you just answered the reason why there are so many stores in our neighborhoods. I could never understand that. And how were they able to open up these stores? Don't they need loans? They just came here, and they do get the loans. When they go in, they get the loans. But you just answered the reason why. It's because the government is probably getting a kickback from it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Never knew that.
That makes sense. So I think we have one more video, and then we're going to come back with our final thoughts, and we will be out of here on this lovely Friday. Miss Producer.
I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I'm appalled.
Yeah, but not surprised.
But not surprised.
Surprised.
I just filled up my car, my truck. It was $85. Okay, that was the highest it has ever been. It was $45 6 years ago when I first bought it. Okay, now it's $85, and I'm looking at them just hitting that gavel. And I don't complain. Look, okay, I don't complain. I fill up my truck. I go where I need to go. But I'm looking at them hit that gavel in glee, and thinking about all the people out here that really needs to get back and forth to work, that needs to handle their business on the road, and they just simply cannot afford gas. That is the look of disgust. That's the look of demonism, to be honest with you. Those are demons. Straight up. You don't laugh at the fact that you're making so much freaking money off the backs of people who are struggling to keep it together. Those are demons.
Yeah. And that's what this world is built on.
Yeah, capitalism. While I like money, don't get me wrong, he takes very good care of me. I will never, ever sacrifice somebody for money. It does not end well. It does not end well, y'all.
And how much do you need?
Correct.
How much
do you need?
That's the question. Well, we know that, that the America, whether the people who came from the Europe, on those ships or whatever, those were the, what do you call it, the rapists and the all of the bad,
Criminal.
the criminals and all of that were coming from Europe, and then found they didn't discover America, but they came here, and that was the whatever, the climate and the people. Those were those people that came here and built America on our backs, or took our wages and did all of that stuff. So, you know, it was built shaky and bad, and it's looking like it's continued to stay like that because it was criminals and rapists and all of that. So what do you expect?
And it looks just like them. They look just like their children, the Pilgrim's children. Excuse me. Lord help me. Pilgrim's children. Child. Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna go. We're at the end of the show today, so we're gonna have a final thought. So I do have a question for our final thoughts. What does economic relief actually look like for working people? And I'm gonna start with you, Miss Renee, and then just let the people know where they can find you.
Economic relief looks like, to me, freedom of you owning your own, building your own, and that has to do with your garden, everything that is self-contained with your family and a community. That's what economic relief looks like to me, is freedom. My name is Renee Williams. I am a health equity strategist, and I am the CEO founder of tricyclesync.com. If you go to there, you'll see that we are working on the behalf of maternal mothers to make sure that they are being heard and seen in the medical spaces, so that our babies don't continue to die, or them.
Thank you, Renee. It was good having you on the show today. Miss Yolanda.
God, I know Tiara told us not to piggyback, but I got to piggyback off Miss Renee. Okay. We need to be sovereign. That's what economic relief looks like. Being a sovereign people, not relying on the government for our water or food source, because when we do, they control us. Bottom line. That's all I got to say. Anyway, you can reach me at mwhitney.com. I am an insurance broker. I can insure anything. Guys, I can insure your pinky toe. I know you like that, Dominique. I know you like that. So give me a call for any type of insurance that you may need. I got you.
Thank you, Miss Yolanda. It's always good to be here with you on Fridays. So I agree with both of you ladies, but I think that economic relief, it is freedom, but it's also educating our youth about what it looks like.
Yes.
Because it's not too late for us, but we can definitely teach them early what we learn late. So having more conversations with our children, setting them up, early before they even get into the workforce, preparing their retirement at birth, having education with them about money, and then also teaching them about your finances and the gardens and different things like that, starting this stuff early with them. Our parents can only give us what they can give us. And with all the knowledge and everything that we have, we can give that to them while we're working, right? It's still not too late for us, but we can definitely set them up and begin to create the generational wealth, which in turn creates financial freedom. So I am Dominique Morgan. I am a realtor, but I can help you purchase throughout the United States of America. You can find me on all social media platforms at The Whitmore Group, or you can go to our website at thewhitmoregroup.com. So as we close, at the end of the day, this conversation is more than one company making billions. It's about the growing gap between corporate profits and everyday survival. People are working hard, budgeting harder, and still struggling to keep up with raising costs while major corporations continue reporting massive earnings during periods of crisis. And the necessities like transportation, food, and housing become increasingly difficult to afford. People start asking whether the system is designed to support working families at all. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you everyone in the comments for, chatting with us during the show. And we will see you next week. We're here Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have an amazing weekend. Bye.
Bye, peeps.